Hello and welcome to It's Your Time to Shine. I'm your host, Christoff J Weihman, America's favorite speaker empowerment coach, the creator and producer of the Ultimate Speaker Competition. And I am so excited today because I have a special guest that I'm going to introduce to you, our award-winning speaker, magician, hypnotist, and the gentleman who took second place at the recent Ultimate Speaker Competition, Michael Cross. As a multifaceted performer, Michael Cross has entertained audiences since the late 1900s as a magician, mentalist, multi-instrumentalist, and vocalist. Adapting to the 2020 lockdown, Michael became a wedding officiant, and he realized that all his talents and experiences have been leading him to the stage of public speaking. Please help me welcome to the stream, to the show of It's Your Time to Shine, my good friend, Michael Cross.
Hello.
Also known as Angel.
Angel, yep.
Whoa. So awesome to have you here today. We had some technical difficulties, but we persevere and push through. And I'm just super excited to see you and to talk with you. So let's start off with, you and I met because Karen Eastman, who is our lead coordinator for the Ultimate Speaker Competition, which we've been doing since 2019, she introduced us and she shared with me about how you were so excited and eager to be a part of Ultimate Speaker Competition, which we just finished. Oops, are you there?
Can you hear me, Christoff?
Yeah,
there we go. I didn't hear what you last said.
You were not able to hear are you not able to hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah, it went mute during when you were talking about Karen.
That's
Karen
weird.
Eastman.
Okay, great. We have more technical opportunities here. Basically, the question is, why were you inspired to participate in an Ultimate Speaker Competition?
It was it's something I've never done before. I've never done public speaking on a stage before, and life kind of gets monotonous, and so I saw it as an opportunity to break that monotony, because monotony is a mind killer and comfort kills ambition. So that's why I did it, to see how far I can go with this.
Monotony. No, I don't usually take notes, but I'm going to take notes because you already are dropping great nuggets here. Monotony is a mind killer.
Yeah.
I love it. And comfort does what?
It kills ambition.
Comfort kills ambition. That's like two bumper stickers right there, my friend.
Yeah. Whenever I feel like life gets monotonous, I try to find something to take me outside of my comfort zone. Even if I crash and burn, at least I tried.
And so you did step outside of your comfort zone, right?
Yes.
My understanding is, yes, you are a performer. Yes, you are a magician, and you're a wedding officiant. But even when you're doing the officiating of weddings, you are basically reading a script. You are right. You're sticking to the format. Am I correct?
Kind of. When I first started officiating, I had a marriage script, and then I had a couple mentors that helped me. One is named Pastor Pete. He's with Elegant Vegas Weddings here in Las Vegas, and he taught me how to personalize weddings, asking people questions. And then when I got hired at, or when I became a private contractor for Vegas Weddings Chapel, Diana, the head minister, she mentored me and helped me polish. And so now all my marriage ceremonies are memorized, slightly improvised, because I talk to the couple. I get to know their love story, how they met, how the proposal happened, what made them fall in love. And then I actually write the ceremony as I'm going with their love story.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's halfway improvised. I have some set things, as far as like the declaration of intent where they say I do and the rings. But as far as the opening and closing, I basically work with what they give me. Even if they're doing their vows, I listen to their vows, and then I pepper that into the ending speech. They have little inside jokes and things like that.
I like it. Now let's go back to the Ultimate Speaker competition, because you mentioned about stepping outside of your comfort zone. And what I was starting to mention, while even though you are a wedding officiant and you are a performer, this was your first time to really be on a stage just for the purpose of sharing a message. Am I correct?
Correct.
And what was that like for you? Was that outside of your comfort zone, and how was the experience?
Yes, it was outside of my comfort zone, and it helped me find my voice, because I've always been a performer and I always like making people laugh. And when I did the VIP experience, and I'm going to do it again. It was really fascinating because everyone there, all the speakers there were amazing. Everyone had these touching stories, these stories of overcoming and survival, and even a lot of tragedy too. And so I kind of got caught up in that. And I thought that maybe my speech should be the same. And then I remember I did the private coaching session with you the night before. And because we all have tragedy in our lives, we all have things that are painful. And unfortunately, those are for a lot of us, we don't even realize that we don't let go of that pain from childhood. And that's actually a source of a lot of our insecurities, a lot of our self-consciousness and feelings of inadequacy. And so, I try to talk about some of the trauma from my childhood, and I hadn't confronted it yet. And then you asked me, as a magician, what are some funny or interesting, exciting moments that you had because of being a magician? And then my face lit up, and I was talking. I think, what was I talking about? The time when I inadvertently ended up doing magic for a group of swingers.
Yes,
the guy with the mustache and the chest hair, and then Michelle, your wife, she saw that my face lit up. She goes, "That's your voice," and then that's what I carried with me to the competition. I was just, I'm just gonna be honest with myself. This is who I am. I make light of heavy situations.
Wow. And, a lot of times speakers, and even in our event, sometimes speakers have this idea or this thought that, wow, my message is not as powerful as their message, because I don't have as much drama, or I didn't go through as much or as many painful experiences. But like you said, it's about being authentic to yourself. And like I like to say, everybody's message is not for everybody, but everybody's message is for somebody. Somebody is waiting for you to show up. Somebody is going to resonate with your message. And what you did your first round, then you made it to the semifinals. And then we had a situation which was something that hadn't happened before. We actually had 3 finalists, and you were one of our finalists. Each one of your talks, you brought something different. It was not the same message. It was not the same note. And in a way, just as an observer, I felt like you were trying out different things, or just, seeing what different styles or types of energy and emotion you could bring to the stage. So do you want to kind of share about what that journey was like?
Yeah. So, like, everyone wants to win, they want to get that feeling of winning. I wasn't so much in it to win it. I was in it for the experience. I wanted to see the workshops, and I was using it as a, because it was my first time. I wasn't even expecting to get to the semifinals. I just wanted to do like one speech. And then when my name got called for the semifinals as one of the top 2 storytellers, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to try I'm going to see that's part of finding, for me, that was part of finding my voice. And, and that's pretty much how I live my life, is just trying different things. If I have an interest in it, I'll just try it. And if I fail, and if I had an exhilarating experience through that failure, then I'll try again. If I wasn't feeling it, and like, you know what, this probably isn't me, I might try it 1 or 2 more times, and then move on to something else. And so that's why I could do so many things. And being up on stage, I started with magic, telling a story, and I used some. And what's funny was I had 4 different stories locked in my head, so my suit was actually loaded with the magic tricks that I did during those moments in my life.
Okay.
And then so when I told the story of the Russian New Year party, I had 2 of the tricks that I did that night, and so I brought that with me. And then the second round, if you watch the video, I'm standing on the stage with nothing, complete blank, just looking at the audience for maybe 2 or 3 seconds. Then it clicks. And then I went into this comedy routine, basically, that had a message, still had a message about being true to yourself, and why I got fired from the jobs I got fired, because I got,
tell us one or two of those things. I will tell you what you already know. I won't say 100%, maybe 100%. I think the audience was nonstop laughter. Some of us were commenting like, come on, give it a break, because for 6 minutes, we couldn't stop laughing. You kept going one after another, and you were so rapid fire, but you did it in such a kind of a theatrical way. And it's very different than what we've seen before. So tell us, if you don't mind. So your story was why you get fired, why you've gotten fired from almost every job you've had.
Yeah, every job, because I went up there and I decided, I pray before I do any kind of endeavor, and then that way, God, the Holy Spirit just, kind of opens my mind. And then there's also a weird thing in our brains. Like, the left side of our brain is really analytical. The right side of our brain is our creative brain. So when we're put on the spot, we're forced to be creative. And that part of the brain works 10 times faster than the analytical part. That's what they say. If you have a creative idea, within 5 seconds, you got to write it down before the analytical part starts heckling you. And so I just went with it. And for that 6 minutes, I felt like I was at a party. I felt like I was at a house party, and just telling these stories that I've told so many times before in the past that always got people laughing. And so I just told it. Basically, what I was doing was, it wasn't planned. It was. I guess you could say it was improv. And what popped into my head was, when I was selling shoes at Dillard's in North Carolina, Gastonia, just right outside of Charlotte. There were, in Spencer, they had these bumper stickers, this book of bumper sticker slogans. And one of the slogans was, I thought I wanted a career. Turns out all I wanted was a paycheck. And so that's how I opened it. And so many of us, that's what we get caught into. By the time we reach our 30s, we're just, because remember when we were kids, they always ask us, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
And then when we're adults, that question becomes, what do you do? And so most of us are just settling for whatever mundane job is out there, because we just think all we want is a paycheck. And so throughout my 20s, that's how I thought, but not unknowingly, my desires, that inner child in me, just kept buckling and said, no, you're not selling shoes. Here's what we're going to do about that.
So what did you do to not sell shoes?
So they had me in men's shoes at first, and then I was top in sales at men's shoes. And so they moved me to women's shoes. And that's where I did that line where I said, I don't want to be Al Bundy. And so every time a lady would come in and ask to try on a pair of shoes, I would go in the back, I would do something, come back out, and she would buy the shoes. So I would do this something for about, I think, 2 or 3 days I did this. And then one Saturday, there was a line of women, maybe almost a dozen, returning their shoes or exchanging their shoes because the left shoes were the wrong sizes. So every time I'd go back to the back room to get shoes from the try-on, I would just take the left shoes of the same model shoe and just switch them. And so, and for some reason they knew it was me. And then,
so what happened?
Yeah,
when the women came back, were they returning their shoes, or were they coming to get the correct left foot shoe?
Both. So, some of them were coming to return the shoes. Others they really loved the shoe and they say, hey, the left shoe is the wrong size. I just need the right size. And so they actually, I shouldn't be surprised they knew it was me, because all those sales were under my number, because I'm the one that sold the shoes. So, but there were some shoes that weren't under my number. Like some of the other employees, they would just grab it. So right there's proof that when you buy shoes and they open that little box up and they look, they're not checking for shit. They're not checking for anything.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And when you were telling those stories at the event, You were just so in tune with the audience and with your message. And this is what I see with speakers that are very effective. It's not about memorizing a speech, as I say. Speakers need to stop giving speeches and just share a message to the audience. And we're, as speakers, we only talk about things that we already know, that we experience, that from our life stories, etc. And you were quite brilliant with that. Let's talk about, and congratulations. I mentioned it at the intro, but I didn't say it to you here. Congratulations for taking second place. It was a stiff competition all the way around. We had 19 speakers in total, and each one of them from the three different categories, storyteller, expert, inspire, each one brought something different, something unique, and very well-deserved second place for you, my friend.
Thank you.
Let's talk about magic, because magic is a big part of you, big part of your life. And I don't know if you're able to do any magic on screen here. I don't know if that's possible. You're welcome to do that if you would like at any time. But let's talk about where it started from. Where did that begin? How did magic become a part of who you are?
So ever since I was a kid, and I can remember up to a week before my second birthday. So I remember when my first brother was born, and it was in 1981. And just when you're that age, if anyone can remember back to that age, just everything was just very strange. Everything was strange and wonderful. Everything seemed magical, And then we grow up, and then you find out that Kermit is just a puppet. You start discovering that your parents aren't really disappearing; they're really hiding behind their hands. And so these boxes of logic just start filling your head, start getting cluttered. But my head never got cluttered with stuff. I mean, I knew Kermit was a puppet, but I knew all those things were puppets, but I never let go of the what if idea. What if these things could be alive, even though I knew they were puppets? I always imagined like an alternate. I didn't know the word alternate reality. And so I remember I grew up in Phoenix, and there was a mall called Christown Mall, and there was this little novelty shop called Charlie's House of Fun inside the mall. It was across the street from a Piccadilly or something. And I remember my dad taking me into the store, and I think I was just before kindergarten, right around 4 or 5 years old, for like bizarre reasons. That part, 4, 5, and 6 is jumbled because of something I went through. But anyways, we went to the store, and there were just wigs and masks and just these really colorful toys. And at the back, there was this glass table, and there was all these magic tricks in that counter. So I remember just like pressing my face up and seeing all these colorful sticks and little metal contraptions. And then this big fat hand reaches from the back and pulls out this colorful magical wand. I wish to this day I don't have that trick. You figure I would, but it's like this little magical wand that has all these different colors in it. He told me to think of a color, and he passed the wand through his hand, and it turned red, all red on both sides, and it was the color I was thinking of. And then he said, "This is magic." And then that's when I realized that wonder, not in those words, but I remember feeling that wonder can be created and it can be controlled. And so magic has been my lifelong characteristic inside of me. So so that's how it started. And I never gave it up. And I remember buying or checking out magic books from the library, and then just making my own tricks. I remember my dad saving me. There was I think it was a box from like a TV or a dishwasher. I remember punching holes in it and sticking broomsticks and and hockey sticks in it, trying to make that magic trick where you stab.
Okay.
Where you stab it. And so I remember sticking my brothers in it, and then just shoving it in there. Not, like here I'm thinking it'll go through them. And so I remember just like hitting them in the head. And so you hear, ow. And then, so I go in the box, and then I realize, oh yeah, there's the secret.
Do you have, so again, when you were at the event, something you had mentioned. One of your messages was really about, and you encapsulated it, or you held it in your hand, even though there was nothing there. Wonder,
Wonder.
and the wonder of when we were a child. And I see in you helping people kind of recapture, reignite that. And you talk about having this childlike, energy or attitude, which I think in our day-to-day life, we're taught to grow up pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
And it's not really acceptable for adults to be acting goofy or
Yeah.
right. But
Yeah.
talk about why to you that is, maybe goofy is not the right word, but talk to us a little bit more about why that's important and what that benefit would be for us as adults.
It just makes life more bearable. Because when you go to networking events or parties, or even like within family and friends, there's so many people out there. They're going to the grocery store and they're just miserable.
Mm.
They're miserable. All they're thinking about is stress at their life, just the problems. Maybe they have a jerk for a boss at work, or coworkers, and then they let that get into their head. But you remember when we were kids, the world's burning down around us. Our parents are watching. Our parents. I remember when I was a kid. I remember my dad watching the news. But that didn't matter because I had my toys, had my little magic tricks. And so I'm not saying to be oblivious to the world around us. I'm like, we have to be aware what's going on. But at the same time, we shouldn't let all the angst, all the adulthood stuff destroy that child within us. And one simple thing we can do is just remember what you did when you were a child that you enjoyed. Did you enjoy playing basketball? Did you enjoy riding your bike, coloring? If so, just take an hour out of your day just to do something like that. Ride your bike. If you enjoyed coloring, I mean, they sell adult coloring books. Or just go to Walmart, buy a box of crayons, buy some markers, buy a coloring book, and just no one has to know. Just get in touch. Just awaken that inner child. Because those things were what brought wonder to us. Those things that we love, and then you'd be surprised. It's kind of like they say it's therapy. Like it's been psychologically, clinically shown that when we partake in the activities we enjoyed when we were children, it relaxes you. It relaxes you. It just releases those endorphins, the oxytocin, and the dopamine back in that we had when we were children. And so I think that's really important. And then what happens is it gets a lot of people, they fill in that gap with addictions, drugs, alcohol, and all the other stuff that take humanity by the neck.
Wow. That's amazing. You have such a way with words, and I really do see, in addition to your career as a magician, you and I have talked a few times already. I see huge opportunities for you on big stages, many different ways. Let's go back to the magic. I want to know why do you love it? What's your experience when you are performing? And I know you like to do close-up magic a lot, correct?
Yeah.
When you are doing that, which is for just a small group of people, right? It's not for 100. It's, you'll have 3 or 5 or maybe 10 people at the most standing around you.
Yeah.
When you are doing that, what's going through your mind? And then when they, when it's the end result, what is it that you feel, or what is your intention for your audience? Is it just, I imagine it's not just to do a trick.
No, it's not, because there's most of us, we have that uncle or a friend that knows the magic trick, and then when they perform it, it's not magical. It's just a puzzle, a really cool puzzle. And then a lot of people, there's a lot of magicians out there where they perform it in such a way to trick people, and people don't appreciate that. I never get hecklers. When I first started, when I was 19, I got hecklers. But then that's when I started refocusing and realizing what magic is for. And so I approach it as a kid, like I approach it having fun. And when I perform it for people, I'm sharing like what I feel every day. I want other people to feel it. So for example, the chapel I work at, people always ask me to do coworkers. And even, when brides and grooms find out I'm a magician, they say, hey, can you show us something? And what I like about close-up magic, when the magic happens in their hands, there's their brain, you can see their brain literally breaking for a moment. They just saw something. No camera tricks. It wasn't on stage. No special box. They actually saw this happen right there. And then I'll do it again. I break one of the rules. You're not supposed to repeat a magic trick. I'll break the rules and do it again. And then their brain's even more broken. And then when they look at me, they look like children. There's the look in their eyes is the same look you see in children when a child's looking at a Christmas tree, or when a kid sees a puppy, their face just lights up. And then whenever I go to work, I always try to make it fun. Try to make it fun. I joke, I goof off, and I know when to switch modes. When a couple comes in, it's time to marry them. But even then, I have a fun way of approaching brides and grooms, especially when there's little rooms that we meet with them before the ceremony starts. And a lot of them are so nervous, so I'm able to talk them down, you see them just, and I'll tell them like, look, this is not so much a big day for you. This is more of a celebration, because you and John, you guys have built a life together. You guys have known each other. And now you have a reunion of all your favorite people in the room. So I go, what you're feeling is just anticipation, but this is not so much a big day or a big decision. You've already made that decision. You've already built a life together. You're just celebrating what you have. And then when they hear that, they're just like, oh, wow. And then I'll show them a magic trick really quick. I'm like, hey, you want to see something really neat? And then, I'll do this trick with like these little sponge rabbits. It's in the other room, but yeah. And so they get joy. Then I go, and then the groom's usually waiting in the chapel. So I'll go talk to the groom and I'll do a quick magic trick for everybody. This is what I usually do. This is my fun thing to do. So I got this wallet, right?
Hold on. Let me take my.
So cool. So I got this wallet. That's real fire too. It's a security system. Keeps everything safe. Even keeps my cash safe. And now this is one of those things that I tell people. If I had real magic abilities, there's the camera, I wouldn't be playing with cards. I'd be playing with money. So I'll show them all $1 bills. Show them that my hands are empty. And you've heard that old saying, the hand's quicker than the eye. I won't do that. I'm going to go in very slow motion, just so everything looks as real as possible. So some people think they're double printed, but I'll show them the front and back of each of these. So magic with money. And it's real bills. Everything is sleight of hand.
Crazy. Wow.
Hey, I'm glad you like that. I did that at the casino. They got all mad at me. Yeah. Don't do magic at a blackjack table.
Yeah, no. Yeah. You got to be careful who your audience is, right?
Yeah, like the dealer won't yell at you, but they'll go floor. So anyone who has not spent time in a casino, when you hear that, that means the dealer has just called the pit boss and they're going to escort you out, most likely. So I've never gotten escorted out. I've just been told, don't do that. Worth it.
You have a wall of guitars behind you.
Yeah.
So music is all, and a drum kit as well. So music is also a big part of you. Oh, and a keyboard. You got the whole band behind you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk to us about where does music play a part in your life, or tell us a little bit about that.
My parents, my dad especially, he always he never told us, no, you can't do this. Like whenever one of us was curious about something, me and my brothers, he always found a way to try and make it work. Like most people, majority of us, we didn't have a lot of money growing up. So my dad always found ways he would go to a pawn shop, and he always knew how to make deals in purchasing instruments. And so this is the first guitar. It's a generic no-name guitar, and my dad got it at Price Club.
Okay.
At Price Club for like $50, and so that's this. And it was originally my brother's guitar, my brother Nathan. But Nathan lost interest in learning guitar for a moment, and so he gave the guitar to me, and so I just taught myself at 16 with CDs. What did I learn from Foo Fighters? The Foo Fighters CD, Color into Shape. So I just popped that CD in and just learned how to play by ear. Piano was my first instrument. So about third grade is when I started playing trumpet in the band. And so music, and my dad, it was funny too, because like I'd always be singing, always be singing, and like trying to make instrumentation out of everything on top of the magic tricks. And so my dad always told me the story, and I vaguely remember this. He said when I learned when I was finally saying words, whenever was that song "Rock Around the Clock" would come on. I have an affinity for rocks for some reason. I everywhere I go, if I see a pretty rock, I'll take it. And I remember I always got in trouble at Mount Charleston because I saw a really big rock I wanted to take, and then the park ranger, he saw me taking the rock. He's like, "You can't take that rock." And I go, "It's a rock." And he's like, "No, you can't take that rock." And so it turns out it was a marker. It was a marker rock for the campsite. Oh. I just thought it was a cool looking rock. I want to take it home as a souvenir. And so I would get rocks. Like I had like this rock collection when I was a kid, and I would sit on a rocking chair, and every time "Rock Around the Clock" would come up, I would just like rock with my rocks and sing "Rock Around the Clock" with whatever limited vocabulary I had. And the only words I knew was rock, rock.
Rock, rock, rock.
So,
rock, rock,
so
rock.
Rock, 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 rock. And so, third grade was when I started playing trumpet. I started learning trumpet, and then my sophomore year in high school, I became the trumpet soloist. And so music was always with me. Then at 19, there was a restaurant in Phoenix called Bobby McGee's. It's where all the servers would dress up as characters. So I auditioned, and I was my character was Dr. Mel Practice, and so I would do like physical stunts and everything because I thought it'd be funny, because they had like a Little Bo Peep, they had Prince Jasmine, they had a Captain Kirk, they had all these characters, puppies, and so I didn't choose the character. They just threw like these scripts at me in a lab coat. They're like, "You're a doctor," because I'm like, okay, so when you start, you can't choose your character. Dr. And so they said, "What's your character name?" I go, "Yeah, so I'll be Dr. Mel Practice." And they're like, "And what's Dr. Mel Practice's shtick? What does he do?" Because they already had a magician. And so I said, "Well, I'll just be a very accident-prone doctor." And so that was my thing. Like I was a doctor that would trip over things, run the walls. So, I put like a bandage on my costume, so I was just like this clumsy doctor. And then, so they found out I could play guitar. So I became one of the guitar players. And with Bobby McGee's, all the servers would dress up as characters, and we'd all sing songs and everything. So they had a few. Elvis, he was a guitar player, and they had 2 assigned guitar players, and then they had me as a guitar player as well. And that's where I learned magic, because the magician, he had an opera voice, he could sing opera. So he left, became over at a place called Gaming Ranch where they had gondolas, and I auditioned for the magician spot. And so they said, "Okay, what's your magician character?" So I went to the costume room. They had a ringmaster costume. "Hey, I will be Ringo the Magic Ringmaster." So I did that. And then so music was always my thing. And then I remember when I was 17, my dad, I think that's where he got the dress. Yeah, right there. And then he bought this microphone stand. I remember my mother coming home. She's like, "Why did you get a microphone stand?" And my dad goes, "Well, because one of these boys is going to be a singer one day." And it turned out that's what happened. When I was bartending in Charlotte, they had live music. So I learned a bunch of songs and just started doing live music and playing guitar and singing. And those 2 skills, the magic and the music, is what opened all the doors for me over here in Las Vegas.
Wow.
So a lot
and now you're adding award-winning speaker to your repertoire. What's on the horizon for you? What do you see next steps? Where are you going?
I'm working on a one-man show right now that combines magic and music. So where I have like some original songs, and then it won't be a magic show per se. What inspired me was I can't remember his name, but he did In and of Itself. It's on Hulu.
Yeah,
So
that was
that
a gift
inspired me.
that was given to me that I gave to you.
Yeah, that was
It's
amazing.
friends.
So
It's a show on Hulu. It's called In and of Itself, and it's based on a one-man show that played for over 500 consecutive nights off Broadway in New York. It ended in 2018. It's created and acted by a gentleman named Derek Del Gaudio. I shared this with Michael a few days ago. It was Dr. Smiley Ken Rochon that turned me on to this. I have seen this show on Hulu at least 5 times now, and every time I watch it, I see something else that that I didn't catch the first time, and it's very. In some ways, it has our event, the Ultimate Speaker Competition, has been going on since 2019. And when I watched that show, I watched it back 6 months ago, and we've done 2 or 3 events since then. It has informed and given us other ideas that we've incorporated into Ultimate Speaker Competition. But I can absolutely see you doing a one-man show, Michael. I'm very excited for you in the future. I know that there's also a possibility you may be on a national, global TV screen soon.
Yeah.
I don't want to spill the beans if you're not ready to, but I know that we're looking forward to that possibly happening.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. My mind is going, because I love magic shows, but I've always wanted to do a show that wasn't just a magic show, that would, kind of like resonate in people's minds. And I couldn't figure. I had an idea, but I couldn't figure out. It was just a fog. And then when you sent me the title, of itself, when I watched it, and then I go, this is it. This is the style that'll be. I think it'll be really cool, So I started looking around for stages I could rent, and I figured I'll do either a free show or a donation show where I'll have a nonprofit come in. I really like the work that Las Vegas Rescue Mission does downtown for the homeless. And so I was thinking maybe doing an event like that, and then maybe showcase a couple other artists, and then just take donations. And then that way everyone wins, audience gets a show, everyone, community gets to help out, and then I get to work the bugs out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get to work the bugs out, because performing like that on stage, something I have not done, like doing the public speaking thing. And it was funny too, because I wish I had the stones in my bedroom, but I drew a stone during the VIP event. Actually, can I run really quick and grab that stone?
Of course.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna put this piece of paper up here really quick. That's for one more magic trick. I'll be right back.
Okay. We're excited. Commercial break, my friends. If you are inspired to connect with Michael, you can go to his website, michaelcrosslv.com. He is a freelance magician and wedding officiant and musician and public speaker, as you've heard. If you are looking for an entertainer, maybe for your holiday party, I'm just going to put this plug out for him. He didn't ask me to, but I know that he does private parties. I know that he does corporate events, and you and your team, your group will be absolutely mesmerized if you choose to bring Michael on and hire him for your event. So michaelcrosslv.com is the best place that you can find Michael. And also, I know he's on social media as well. All right. Welcome back, Michael. You are going to share another story with us.
Yeah, see it? That was the stone during the VIP experience for the Ultimate Speaker Competition. Christoff, he had a bag full of stones, and each of us picked up stones, and then surprisingly, every stone resonated with someone. So I picked courage, which is good, because to be honest, I was absolutely terrified to do this, but I said, you know what, I'm just gonna do it anyway. There was a girl, Lizzie. She was Amish, and she escaped the Amish life, and she picked freedom. for her. So everyone picked something that resonated, which was really, really cool. You want to see what I'm going to do with this piece of paper here, Christoff?
I do. Absolutely. I'm going to take myself off again so that you're full.
All right, Christoff. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to, are you familiar with Google Stats? Hello? Can you hear me, Christoff?
I guess when I'm off the stream, you can't hear me. Yeah,
Oh.
I do not know what Google Stats is. What is it?
So basically, you have Google Stats and Google Trends, and they're tracking sites, and it tells you what's trending, what the trending searches are.
Okay.
Right now on Google, so you have like Google Trends, it tracks a lot of like the political stuff and everything, and then you have Google Stats, which is more like food and things like that. So, if you have your computer, your cell phone, go to you got it. So go to google-stats.com. So google-stats.com.
Okay, give me a second.
Google-stats.com.
Oops, I put a comma. All right, google-stats.com.
Yeah. And then, so you can see like what's currently trending. It changes every minute according to what people are searching for. But if you scroll down to the very bottom, you'll see a bunch of topics.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So because I have this in my guitar, go to the topic that says music.
Music. All right.
Yeah. So tell me when you're on that page.
Yes. Got it.
You got it? All right. So it's on music right now. All right. Perfect. So let me see it again.
Currently trending music.
Currently trending music. Okay. That is awesome. So basically we're going to do, let's hope this works, because it's, let me see it again. Currently trending music. All right. I don't know. Let me see. Yeah. Google is very, very strange like that. Yeah. Google-stats.com and then currently trending music. All right, cool. So what you're going to do is, there, right on that page, there's the top 100 trending songs. So before you look at it, name any number between 1 and 100.
73.
So of all the numbers, 73. Now, why did you pick 73?
Because when I ever choose any numbers, I always choose odd numbers.
Odd numbers. Okay, very good. So scroll down to 73. Don't tell me what song you see at 73 yet, but tell me when you got 73.
Okay.
You got it?
I do.
So I got this piece of paper right here in your view.
Yes.
I'm going to keep it right over here. I'm going to hold it in front of the camera.
I'm going to take myself off of the screen for a moment.
Okay. Christoff, name the song that you're thinking of that's at 73.
Hotel California.
What'd you say?
Hotel California.
All right. Remember, this has been in your view at all times, right?
Come on. Come on.
Look at all the other numbers. If you would pick 74, it would have been what song?
Moves Like Jagger.
Jagger, yeah. So, but you picked 73, and right where you said it, Hotel California.
Oh my God. Wow. 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 And here, let's see. Just so that it's not easy to hold up to the camera. There we go. You can see that all? Hotel California, number 73. Well, my friends, Mr. Michael Cross, I think that is an amazing way to end this segment. we will definitely have you on again. It's your time to shine, and that's exactly what you do, my friend. Just love your heart, your energy, your attitude, your humility, and your showmanship. You, as I like to quote my mentor, Les Brown, you have greatness within you, and you definitely are one who shares your gifts to the world. And I know that many people are blessed to know you, me being one. I'm so excited for you and for the future, and can't wait to see what's coming next with you, Michael Cross. Last words, my friend.
Last words. Just remember who you were when you were a child, and all I could say is whatever it is you loved when you were a child, do that, reawaken, and whatever it was you wanted to be when you were a child, no matter what job you have, just take it with you. If you love sports, you're at the office, you're at a desk, put some stuff on your desk. That way you just don't forget who you were when you were a child. It's still in there. So just reawaken that child, and yeah, so it is. But going back to what I said at the beginning, monotony is a mind killer, and comfort kills ambition. So don't be afraid. One thing I do is I like to imagine myself as 70, 80 years old. Like, let's say you're at a moment, like right now, I'll be at a moment and I'm afraid to do something, or I'm having apprehension or even self-doubt. I'll imagine myself being 70 years old going, oh man, if I would have just taken that chance. So don't be the regret that your old self is gonna look back and be like, why didn't I do that? Wow. Why did I not do that? Because coulda, shoulda, woulda is an avoidable regret. It is an avoidable regret. And so just because at the end of the day, I say this tongue in cheek, but at the end of the day, no one really cares, and they'll get over it. So, I had another question I asked myself too, that maybe I'll hold off on this question, because I tell people, no, actually, you know what, I'm gonna.
All right, he's leaving us with a cliffhanger, my friends. That's called an open loop.
Maybe for next time.
Michael, so fun, so exciting, just being here together with you. Again, congratulations on all you are achieving, creating, and that's what it's about too, is sparking creativity. That's what I really gain from you too, because when we do have that childlike wonder, it does spark and really get the creative juices flowing. Like you said earlier, when we have a creative idea, we should write it down immediately before our logical left brain kicks in and says, oh, that's stupid. You don't want to do that. Why are you thinking that? So thank you for all that you share to us, my friend. Pleasure. And we will see you soon. It's Christoff J Weihman and Michael Cross on It's Your Time to Shine. And we will talk to you soon. Cheers. God bless everybody.
Cheers.